Hey there guys, Hibari11 here, and in this video today I'd like to show you guys a quick, easy, and efficient way to farm blood echoes. Now, there's a few things I'm going to go over that you're going to need for this process, and these things will ensure that this goes much easier for you. Now, first off, what you want to do is make sure you have any moon runes you have equipped. I have all 3 moon runes. And you want to equip moon runes specifically because they give you more echoes from slain enemies, as you can see. Now I'm going to go ahead and equip all 3 moon runes. Now, for the most part, your oath rune, it doesn't matter too much. It's whatever you want to do. Uh, you know, equipping it, so stamina recovers quicker. The hunter oath rune, it could help, but it's not necessary for this. Most important thing is to equip any moon runes you have. If you have all 3, that's awesome. Now, second thing, you want to make sure you have your weapons, right? You want to make sure you have weapons that do either fire damage, bolt damage, or thrust damage. Now, you can technically use any weapon you want to use for this, by all means, but I find that these types of weapons, fire damage, bolt damage, or thrust damage, are a bit more efficient for farming. Now, I'm going to use, in this example, the boom hammer, and as you can see, these are the gems that I have currently slotted in them. Physical attack up plus 21.8%, physical attack up plus 18.2%, add bolt attack plus 11, attack versus beasts rather, down 9.7%, sorry, physical attack up 20.3%. Now, the physical attack is good, but the most important thing from these gems when farming, I find, is the bolt damage. It's not a lot of bolt damage, but every bit helps. It also helps that the boom hammer, its transformability, gives you fire damage. As you can see, I'm gonna move away from Garmin. Don't want to attack him. Now, unlike the Tonitrus, which gives you bolt damage, when it comes to the boom hammer, you have to retransform it, so to speak, every time you attack, as the fire attack only lasts for 1 hit. That's okay. Now, the other weapon I'm going to be bringing with me today is the rifle spear. The rifle spear specifically because the enemies we're fighting are very weak against thrust attacks as well. And what better weapon for thrusting than a spear, right? Especially this weapon's charged R2. Gonna turn away from Garmin. That's quite effective right there. Alright, now that we have the basis of what weapons we'll be bringing with us, let's talk about items. Right? The one main, very important item that you're gonna need with you for this type of farming are bolt hunter's marks. Bolt hunter marks allow you to respawn at whatever lantern you spawned in on, and also allows the enemies in the area you're in to respawn as well. That's going to allow you to kill them as many times as possible, depending on however many bolt hunter's marks you have. Alright, another great items, a few great items to bring with you if you feel the need for them are, of course, fire paper and bolt paper for each of their respective damages. You don't need to worry about sidearms or anything like that. You won't really be using those for this. Now, before you do this, on a quick side note, you want to worry about You want to keep in mind your weapon's durability. As you can see, my boom hammer has taken quite a bit of damage. Uh, let's go ahead and use some cold blood dew. Fix it up real quick. Will that be enough? Let's see. Nope. Prepare. Yep, just enough for both of them. One blood echo to spare. All right. Now that your weapons are in tip-top shape, what you want to do is go to the Nightmare Headstone. Once there, you want to head to the lecture building. Glad they fixed these load times. They used to be quite fast. Quite slow, rather. All right, we're in the lecture building. That's good. That's good. You're making progress. Now, there's two ways you can go about farming here. You can use this entrance and this door to funnel everyone in this room in front of me out here, and it allows you to safely deal with them without getting swarmed. Right? This is the one I personally enjoy to use. Now, on the other hand, if you want a bit more of a open area, I suppose, you could use this door. Right? They're both equally effective, but I suppose one just gives you a bit more maneuverability depending on, you know, your playstyle and how you choose to go about farming. For my example, let's use the first entrance for the first round. And well, personally, I prefer this door specifically because it's quicker. You know, it's a shorter run to and from the lamp. What you want to do, you don't want to fight these guys in here, because as you can see, there's quite a few of them. You want to run in, get them to aggro. If you're using this, you want to go ahead and, you want to light your boom hammer. And there you go. Now, as you can see, I'm getting quite a few blood echoes. And the moon runes are definitely helping with that. Be careful, because these guys, they're slow, but all of their attacks do quite a bit of damage, and you want to watch out for that. You take these guys out at your own pace. They're quite simple to deal with. You just gotta be careful as to not get swarmed, like I said. And the liquid that they shoot out, it's not too powerful, but it can stagger you. Just like most of the attacks they do, and you don't want that. That's not a good time. So be on the lookout for that. Some of these guys choose to sit in chairs. They don't aggro. Must be sleeping with a bunch of slackers, right? You take care of them. There's one enemy all the way in the back of the lecture building, but I choose to leave him alone. If you want to, you can absolutely go and kill him as well. Get more blood echoes than I do when I farm, I suppose. As you can see, just from killing these guys alone, I already have, well over 14,000 blood echoes. Depending on what playthrough you're on, as a new game plus, new game plus 2, so on and so forth, you'll get more blood echoes as the amount of damage enemies do scales with your playthrough and the amount of blood echoes they drop. I believe all the way up until new game plus 7. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that. Now, another quick side note. These guys are quite useful if you're ever short on Quicksilver bullets. I didn't get too many drops this time around, but if you're ever short on Quicksilver bullets, they drop quite a few, normally around 3 at a time. And if you have a high enough discovery rate, you'll get even more, right? Now, we've killed all the enemies. That's good. What you want to do is use your bolt hunter's marks. You use your bolt hunter's marks to get teleported back to the lantern. right? Now, I've shown you guys how to farm from this entrance, and it's what I prefer. Now let's see how it goes for me from here. It's a bit wider, uh, and if they all manage to get out, which happens sometimes, if you're not quick enough about killing them, it can be a bit problematic. You know what? I just used the boom hammer. Let's use the rifle spear. We're gonna run out again, let them aggro. What you use the doors to bring them out, because what you want to do is funnel them. Now there's a nice big group of them. Let's see if we can't get a few. Very nice. Oh, got hit. As you can see, these guys can still pack quite a punch in their attacks, and that slow overhead right there has definitely put me in quite a few bad situations in the past. So definitely watch out on it. And it's slow, so you may think that you're gonna be fine, but it has a very long reach to it. And as you can see, these guys drop items all over the place. Quite a few quicksilver bullets every time you kill them. Normally, when farming from this entrance, there'll be a few enemies who don't choose to follow you out the door. That's easy. Still easy to take care of them. It's not that many. Want to watch out for this overhead. As you can see, his arms can extend for quite a long reach, and that attack does a fair amount of damage to you. Alright, we've taken care of everyone again. Let's use one more. And you know what? Another very efficient, though depending on however many quicksilver bullets you have, costly method of farming, actually, now that I remember it, is to use the hunter's tool, Tiny Tonitrus. And you'll see why the Tiny Tonitrus is quite effective in a moment. You know what? Let's use the far back door again. Now, the Tiny Tonitrus, if you're not familiar with this hunter's tool, is a tool that shoots out pillars of electricity directly in front of you. Let's see how this hunter's tool of ours fares against these guys. For the league. Alright. Let's see. As you can see, it can be quite effective against these guys. Well, you gotta be careful. It's definitely a great tool to use purely because it extends out for so long, so far, It uses 6 quicksilver bullets every time you use it, so you definitely want to keep an eye out on it. As I said, though, that may not be much of a problem due to these guys being so generous with bullets in general. Now, you definitely want to keep your weapon's durability in mind when farming. These guys specifically can lower a weapon's durability quite quickly. It helps in that situation so you don't have to run back and forth to the hunter's dream every time your weapon becomes at risk to, just have backup weapons. As you can see, I have multiple versions of some weapons. Some weapons I level up and never even use. Beast Claws, definitely my favorite weapon in the game. I normally use the Hunter's Axe as well when farming. So as you can see, I have this uncanny Hunter's Axe, and it just does a bunch of bolt damage. This is quite effective as well if you don't want to use the Tonitrus or the Boom Hammer, or you can't use the Tiny Tonitrus yet, as it requires a certain level of arcane. If that's not the build you're scaling for, then that may be of absolutely no use to you. Having backup weapons when doing this can definitely make farming a lot more efficient and far less stressful, in my opinion, when you don't have to worry about the durability on your weapons and having to run back and forth to the hunter's dream just to repair it every time it becomes at risk of breaking. Um, I guess for the most part, that's everything to keep in mind. You know, you want to make sure you have any moon runes you have equipped. You want to go to the lecture building. You want to make sure you have weapons that do either fire or bolt damage, and a good thrusting weapon as well, such as the rifle spear and any others that you find. And you want to make sure that you funnel them out until the doorways, because you don't want to fight them in the open room that they're in, as they can swarm you quite easily, and you definitely don't want that. If you keep these things in mind, I assure you that this farming method will work perfectly for you. This has been Hibari, and I honestly hope this truly helps.